Hello and welcome to the All About You show with OMG and Friends, where we talk about the things you think about and some things you don't. I am your host, OMG, along with my co-host,
Daydream.
and as always, family, we'd like to thank you for joining us, and we ask two things of you: that you tell your friends and family about our show, as well as we ask that you please join in on the conversation, where your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions help drive the conversation. Today, our topic is wrong place, right time. Now, what we're going to get into today, because it's a broad and ambiguous topic, so we are going to cover several different contexts of being right and wrong. Okay, but in this case, we're going to give a little talk here on when the right is wrong. Now, we've all been there. We're going about our day, and out of the blue, something treats us unfairly. You're cut off in traffic, yelled at by your coworker, or treated rudely by a cashier. Or maybe the wrong you've endured is more serious. Maybe you've been betrayed by a friend, your man, or being unfairly blamed and ostracized by your family for something totally outside of your control. Now, there's no doubt in your mind, though, you've been treated badly. You've been unfairly wronged and are hurt and resentful because of it. Now, knowing we can't avoid ever being wronged, how do we recover from the slight? How do we take the incident, process it, and refuse to let it ruin our day? Now, remember, hurt people hurt people. This has been a powerful revelation and a lesson I've learned to pass on to those who are close to me when they are hurting. People in this life who are the happiest, most self aware, and peaceful do not go out of their way to hurt other people. They don't take offense easily, and if so, they don't speak of it. I trust silence more now than I ever have in all my life, and I am apt to always give others the benefit of the doubt. Now, those who approach the world angrily, giving offense wherever they go, undoubtedly are carrying around some deep seated pain within themselves. Hurt people hurt people. It's one of my most valued touchstones of life because I believe it to be almost and virtually universally true. We all tell a story to ourselves about painful situations, and in most cases, the story is clear cut. There's a bad guy, that's them. There's a good guy, that's us, and lots of details about how we've been unfairly and bitterly wronged. Now, do you think that our minds, though, are often painfully unreliable and that they mix up facts and feelings and confuse motivations and have a hard time seeing other perspectives? And we'll talk about that a little later in the show. Now, when I'm in the middle of a situation and I find myself listing all the ways that I know that I'm right and the other person is wrong, I stop my mental tarry. I take a deep breath and recognize the story that I am telling myself may or may not be the whole truth, but usually it is. I must question my part in any given circumstance, and I do, and I don't lie to me. The world isn't black and white, and most likely neither is our experience. Now, what perspective may we have missed? Is there another side of the story? Could I have misconstrued what actually happened? Not likely, but I am likely to ruminate over past wrongs because I don't get it. Why am I being wronged when I didn't bring envy, jealousy, hurt, pain, and all the ill feelings into a relationship? I bring blessings, favor, and a good and godly spirit. I don't understand people who don't, can't, won't share the same. In short, if there's a more generous way, I would like to look at it and learn that. I tell myself, stop dwelling on the details of the past. It's time to be focusing on the present. When details of a past encounter enters our heads, remember to acknowledge them and then gently bring yourself back into the present moment. Now, consciously interrupting your brooding and saying to yourself, that is in my rearview mirror. I'm letting go to the situation and currently focusing on more productive and positive endeavors instead. Now, we all have a choice to simply let go of infractions and slights. The person who wronged you doesn't deserve any more of your attention or your mental space. Make the intentional decision to stop giving in to them. Now, it can be incredibly hard to let go of unjust hurts and wrongdoings. Our lives, however, simply shouldn't be defined by our disappointment in other people. We can't avoid being wronged in life, but we are absolutely in control of our reaction to that incident. Time may not heal all wounds, but facing the event with optimistic intentions and mindfulness almost surely will. Now, FYI, you do remember that Jesus was the first right to be wronged, and who are we to not expect it in our everyday lives? Let's talk about right and wrong in many different contexts in our daily life. Okay, I think there's a lot of good people like myself being one of them, and a lot of other good people that I know. For some reason, we're always taken advantage of, not so much
Our
play.
kindness is taken
Yeah,
as a
it's
weakness.
you just I don't get it. That's why I said my whole thing comes from not getting it.
Right.
And I think everybody hurts in some respect, but you don't carry that around with you and wear it on your sleeve to where you deal with everybody from that hurt position.
Right. Or my thing is those who know they're hurt, because like we said, we'll excuse it. We try to be
we let it go.
understanding.
Yeah, right.
You know, this must have happened, or they just had a bad day, or, you know, it's just that's unlike them.
Yes,
whatever. You know, we always make up
character.
an excuse. But we those people sometimes make a conscious effort to hurt people back.
This is what I'm saying, hurt people. And
You
they
know,
do it intentionally.
yes, and it's one thing when they're not realizing that's what they're doing. You know, they're not really seeing it, and that can happen because they have tunnel
Well, that's
vision.
why I said.
But then there's those who will lash out at everyone and want everyone to pay for whatever happened, and they had nothing to do with whatever your hurt is. Dealing with.
You know, that's what I said earlier. Do we misread it, or do we make concessions for it that maybe this didn't happen this way? You know, do we look at things differently once we have had a situation with a friend, lover, relationship in any capacity? Are we looking at it differently? Are we adding more to it? Are we feeding more into it? Are we making it bigger than it actually is? I don't think so for me.
No, absolutely not. And
I process, and then process one more time.
I will dig
I'm like there,
and just keep beating it and beating it until I know. Because once we're done with something, we're done.
I'm done.
I don't look back. I don't think about it. It's completely gone, and let's move forward. I feel like this year, because we have nothing to do but reflect.
It's too much, right?
And we have nothing but time, and so we're trying new things and discovering ourselves, because it's just been a lot of clarity for everyone. So I think we're seeing it more and more and recognizing it.
Yeah, I think it's clarity and confusion, because a lot of people are still not sure where they are. We've been trying to get a mental health person here for a couple of weeks here.
Yes, we have,
and to kind of talk about that, but that's
unfortunately, it was either scheduling or technical issues. You know, because technology has just been an inconvenience for us. It really has, especially lately. But I thank you, everyone who's been tuning in on our live feed. Please follow along. Please share. You know, share what's going on to feed that information to everybody else, especially with the current hashtag censorship 2020 that's been going on with us. Facebook has severely restricted really our exposure, our anything, you know, what we post, how we post. We can't even buy ads. You know what I mean? So please share us, support us. Thank you. We do appreciate that. And don't forget, for any of you who want to join the rotating chair, you're more than welcome to. Please send us a private message, a text, an email, whatever, and let us know what days, what dates you're available for. And that way we can get you scheduled and get you hooked up, and from the comfort of your home, your car, wherever you want to be at. And we'll continue on with this conversation, wrong place, right time, and the right people getting wronged. We'll be right back after this short
And we are back. You're listening to the All About You show with OMG and friends. We are talking about when right has been wronged, or when wrong time, wrong place, all the wrong and right circumstances that could possibly come into play. One of the things I wanted to ask that I mentioned in the introduction is no one can avoid ever being wronged by someone, because you never know what somebody's intentions are when they come to you. But how do you recover from the slight? How do how do you deal with it? Because see, again, something with me, I internalize things.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time something comes my way, and I'm not even expecting that, because that's not who I am. I'm not bringing that. So I'm not looking for that. I think people who bring pain look for pain. I'm not that person. So it kind of annoys me when I realize, oh my gosh. And then at that point, I get ghost. I don't,
Right.
Like I said in my intro again, that I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'm not going, or not doing all that. So, but usually by the time I exhaust all possible methods of what I could have done wrong in the whole scheme of things, because I do have to look at myself and I realize that it's not me, then I can very easily and very graciously keep it moving. Mm-hmm. So, and that's usually what I do, but I don't know if that's a good way to do it, because I don't hold any resentment, because I don't see that person anymore. Because once that happens for me,
right.
See, I can make myself ghost real quick, because I don't need a whole lot of people around me at this stage in my life. And the few people that I do have must be OQP, which is only quality people. Not interested in the whole quantity of 25, 30, 40. Facebook, all of that. Mm-hmm. I'm getting mad at them now, because they're playing with our listenership. I don't know when we became important.
That important,
absolutely. It's me.
And I guess we were talking about that before the show. Was that when we really noticed it was last year,
and we're being wronged here.
We're not giving you anything that wasn't already posted on Facebook.
Not provoking you to do anything.
Not at all. It's when we're posting things. It's here. Look at this. Think about this. Give us your opinion. It's not, well, I found out this report, blah, 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 blah. No, not at all. We let you guys know when we get our own information and where we're getting it from.
Absolutely.
And so why
it's our opinion. We do say it's our opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. We let you know it's an opinion. And so why we're being targeted, no idea.
Well, I think we do have a slight idea, and that would be because we are trying to wake people up.
But we're not the only ones.
We're not the only ones, but we don't know what they're dealing with either. So another talk show could be going, or podcast could be going through the same thing. You did mention a guy.
Yes, one of my acquaintances, Eric. I received a new friend request from him, and initially I was like, okay, this must be a duplicate account, a hack. It's a scam, and he ended up messaging me and I guess all of his people and said, hey, it's really me. Facebook disabled my account. Go ahead and add me. And so we asked him what happened, and he was like, yeah, they disabled my account. Evidently, he goes, they didn't like what I have to say. And somebody else very quickly said, yeah, it's the propaganda. You're not fitting into it. He goes, exactly. And I said, that's exactly what it is.
The same conversation that
absolutely the same thing. Like, think about this, people. Like, this doesn't make sense. And his is a personal account. It's not a business account. It's not a community, a news board, or anything like that. We have our personal accounts,
right,
and we have our business account, our show account, and that's the one that's being restricted and flagged. Because I can post the same thing onto our show page from my personal account, and my personal account won't get flagged.
Like I said, I guess we're being looked at, heard, whatever.
I mean, it's flattering.
Because, but again, when do you have to consider that this would happen? Because right, nobody wants they want the Pied Piper to continue to play his little flute and keep going.
Absolutely, do as you're told.
And you go on down that path to destruction. But when you're trying to tell them the opposite direction, then that's when, somebody pays attention to what you're saying and say, oh, no, not this. But let's talk a little bit about what right and wrong is. And ethics are the standard of what is right and wrong, and they are based on your values. Now, being ethical requires making a moral judgment, and that's not always easy. Ethical behavior takes courage, and it has to be practiced. I'll say that again. Ethical behavior takes courage, and it has to be practiced. It takes work to be a good person.
Yes.
It's
definitely not easy.
It takes work to tolerate other people.
Right. And it's someone like me. I know growing up, I couldn't understand people. And I know that, my family was very, antisocial. You don't need friends, this type of thing. So you always stay to yourself. And I couldn't understand why later on in life, I realized that those who I thought were my friends or that they were being nice were not that way. And that was very hurtful because I couldn't understand where that came from. My intention with anyone is never to hurt them. I always come with good intentions.
That's what I said. Blessings favor the whole family.
Right. And especially if you're a friend, someone I call a friend, because I don't call everyone friends. You're a homie, you're an acquaintance, a coworker. But if I call you friend, that means something.
Yeah.
So
and you get the privileges that comes with that.
Absolutely.
Privilege that comes with friendship.
I've got secrets upon secrets, and I don't even remember what they are, because when you tell me, look, this is a secret, don't tell me, it's done and forgotten. You got it off your chest, and it's not going anywhere else. So
absolutely,
all that goes me to my grave, even if we're not friends anymore. That's even if we have a fallout.
That's how I feel.
And people will not respect
They will not. Yeah. I've had a similar situation when a friend was going through a divorce. The husband came to me, because we were friends, and came to me looking for dirt. Well, you came to the wrong girl for that. I'm not that person.
Happening.
Well, y'all not talking right now. Okay, but at the time she confided in me, we were talking. Right. I'm going to honor that. I take very kindly to being gracious to people. I give people, the respect that they deserve. I'm not minimizing them. I'm not being condescending to them, any of that. So if that comes about, it's because their insecurities are there. And I guess sometimes you have to work with the different personalities that are generated through a relationship, because all people aren't the same with all people.
No.
And so I've kind of watched people kind of, realize, oh, they're nice. I can probably take advantage of this. And you may get one in, but you know what? That's the price you put on the relationship.
Right.
If you do something and it costs $285 and you decide to run with that, walk with that, move on with that, then to me, you were only a $285 person. I'm glad to have written that check, paid you, and you're gone. So, and I don't invite that back in. So I just get ghost. I don't explain, because I exhaust all possible methods. And I'm sure a lot of you are the same way, unless some of us just jump to conclusions and just.
Yeah. Now, I know I have a hard time saying I'm sorry.
Oh, I do not.
I do. Those words, for whatever reason, and I know that I'm that way.
That's a good thing.
So I do it in other ways.
Yeah, right.
If I know that I'm wrong, I'll reach out to you.
But see, it's not the same thing.
And I understand that, but it's like, okay, you have to do this, Daydream. Whatever step you need to take in order to say I'm sorry,
just take the step. Like you're saying it.
You would think it's that easy.
It is.
And I've always been one to say, just say you're sorry. What's the problem? You're not saying it. And then when it's time for me to say it, for whatever reason, it's just like, oh.
You don't like being wrong. That could be it. True. I don't have a problem. I know that person. I don't have a problem saying I'm sorry if I am. But trust me, I will have, exhausted all possible methods to make sure that I am not incorrect and that I'm not wrong. But in the event that I am, then I'm going to apologize for that.
Right.
And I have no problem saying that, because, none of us are infallible. Information changes, and I like tidbits. I like information. So you can say something one day, and that whole track of information could be totally different tomorrow, because of technology and the way things are moving. So, I don't like to engage and have to go and tell people that I'm sorry. But if I have to, I can just say, hey, I apologize. I humbly apologize. I made a mistake. But if I haven't, and I've even done that sometimes just to squash stuff, and that's not good. When you're the wrong person, you're the right person being wrong.
Eating crow.
And you're sitting here
you're swallowing it, and you're being
just to be the bigger person. Sometimes, guys, everybody doesn't
deserve
it. There's some people and some friendships are worthy.
Oh, absolutely.
And when you get there, you have to have a major talk once that conversation happens, if you have to be the one to apologize to keep the glue and keep everything together. But then you have to put everything has a value.
Absolutely. If it's worth it to you, absolutely.
Everything has a value.
Definitely be like, you know what? If this is what, let's move on.
Let's move on.
Let's continue
let's
forward.
This and let's go.
Right. Absolutely. I forgot where I was going to go with that, but I know that the value that you put on a friendship,
value on everything.
gives you that level of patience.
It does.
You know, the more valuable you, and valuable meaning the more I appreciate you, the more you mean something to me. I'm definitely going to give you time and chance and understanding. And I know I've had my mom look at me side-eyed because she's like, I can't believe the patience you have, because anyone else, you wouldn't put up with this, you wouldn't da.
I don't have that.
And I couldn't articulate to her that it's because of how I feel about that person, you know, that I've seen them be a way better person than this more times than not.
Right.
And I have to understand people. And then there's other people, I'm just like, oh, you're an idiot. I don't have the patience for you. Get out of my face.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm telling you in those exact words. So, you know, and friendships don't need to be a constant communication. Life happens, and true people value your time because they know life happens. So they don't expect for you to be around all the time, you know. And people, I do have a friend, I'm not going to say her name because I didn't ask her permission for it, but she went through a really hard time over this weekend, and she still is. She got her bank account hacked.
Oh, they don't get me on the
bank. Yes,
we did that
so
a couple weeks ago.
And the way it happened, it had to do with her trying to apply for a job, like millions upon millions of people are doing right now, a work from home type of thing. She did her initial research the way you should. Let me check these people out, this and this and that. And she still got screwed over, you know? So she's having to shut down bank accounts. She's having to contact employers and telling them to put a hold or to put a stop to her paycheck, and having to get them to mail it, which is going to take even longer, you know, and open up an account somewhere else and talk to credit lines, you know, like TransUnion and Experian, and I forget what the other one is. Isn't there three of them?
TransUnion.
Yeah, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. So
anyway,
right. Yeah, so she's going to have to contact them to let them know about some identity theft and fraud that happened. So now for the rest of her life, she's going to have to deal with that because she's going to have extra security connected to her social security number.
I told you a couple of months, I guess maybe 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, I talked about the bank situation when I did a show on banks and how they got their name by being by the river and the water and all this other stuff. But these banks have their own agenda going on. I don't know what they're doing, but
they're ruthless.
Again, right person being wrong. My account was closed by mistake. Okay, I didn't ask to have it closed. You had I've been with you 40 years. You had no reason to even bother it, consider it. Bank error. But do you think that they would apologize?
No, they made it worse. They were trying to cover up.
They made it worse and started trying to cover up stuff.
Because initially
falsifying my name on stuff.
Right, forgery and all that.
So when I try to get a lawyer, trust me, this is military bank. So lawyers are not actively trying to pursue the military. I can't find anybody to go after my bank.
Right.
Can't find anybody.
They're way too
federally
protected.
Okay. And I'm like, wrong is wrong. How dare you? I don't care who it is. I will challenge whatever it is. And I still plan to try to do that. But it's just that nobody really wants to pursue the banks.
And then it initially sounded like a very simple fix.
It's never simple when it's a bank. And you're talking B of A?
Yeah, it sounded very simple. It's like, okay, give them the benefit of the doubt. You know what? I misunderstood on closing the account, was the wrong person. Let me do whatever. But how screwed up? how much screw ups were you doing at work that you had to go through all that to cover up the fact that, you know what? I hit the wrong number. The wrong letter. It was a simple misspelling and I grabbed the wrong account. I closed the wrong account. Something, Yeah,
but and then the sad part is that the bank thinks that they're doing you a favor when they assign you an advocate. My bank assigned me an advocate. I'm like, well, who are they advocating for?
The bank?
Surely not me. Why the hell are you going to give me them? I don't need them. I need to go get my own, And so, it was just, I knew they were lying. They knew they were lying. Right. One of the employees actually said, oh, it's a bank error. So when the lady higher up heard that, she was like, oh, a bank employee said that? I said, yeah, I have it on tape. You want to hear it? So, but again, I have stuff that they said to me that I could corroborate quite quickly. And if I were a lawyer, I could damn near argue it myself because it's very cut and dry. But nobody wants to touch it.
Right.
So again, you can be right all day long, and you will still get wronged by something, someone, the system.
Right. And when we were telling you about Facebook restricting us, another perfect example right now. Normally during the show, I can continue to invite you guys.
Now they've
look, it's not giving me an option to do it. I can share it. I can post it onto my page, but I can't continue to invite separately. So anyway, but
well, that's going to change dynamics.
Absolutely.
Quite a lot of things.
I think the easiest way is we constantly have to self-reflect, and it just takes a lot of patience to be able to move forward and be done with those people.
It takes a lot, because if in order for any one of us to probably let somebody in, it takes a certain amount of giving just to bring you in.
Absolutely.
And then when you get in and you screw it up,
yes,
is my judgment that damn far off?
Yes,
I mean, you start questioning it.
Well, and then that's,
you know it's not you. So.
Well, then the plus to that is, like I said, the self-reflection, because then you start thinking about, wait a minute, where were the signs? Did I miss them?
Oh, it's signs.
You go back.
There were signs.
Don't get into that rabbit hole like I will sometimes, and just then I go back the other way and won't let it go, where I'm just overthinking. But you have to tell yourself, okay, enough.
That's your rear view mirror.
Yeah, there's nothing else you can do about it at this point. It's done, and you can't change it.
And then you have those that have, that are wrong. There are a lot of good, right people out there, and everybody has a little bit of wrong in them. I'm not gonna say that they don't, but some practice it more than others.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, and this is why you have to question people. Especially this day and age of social media. Look at it. It's telling you something.
It's
it's just for work. It's just okay, but there's a certain level of respect where you stop things, where you say, wait a minute, I'm not going to go past this point. And you have, I tell my dude all the time, it's like, if I was acting this way towards you, what would you? I wouldn't put up with that. I said, then why would you do the same to me? And he gets quiet and he's like, why did I think about it that way? It's like, it's the same thing. I said, I'm not, something as simple as he called me. We were going to go meet at the movies. I ended up leaving my phone at home, didn't know until I got there to meet him. And by this point, he had already called to ask me a question. To ask me a question. Well, my cousin saw my phone and saw his name, so he picked up my phone. And all he heard was a dude, and just said, I'm sorry.
What?
And he hangs up and was like, well, what number did I call? So he calls again, and my cousin answers again. And he was like, what? And he's like, and so then my cousin starts playing with them. And he was like, who is this, man? At your
expense.
Yes. So he was feeling some type of way when I see him get out of the truck. And I was like, dude, what's up? And he's like, your phone? I said, yeah, I forgot it at home. He goes, it was your cousin. I said, what? So he tells me what happened. He goes, man, I thought you were playing with me. And he goes, really? He goes, on the way over here, what I wanted to say was, I'm not in the mood for that right now. See? And I told him, look, I wouldn't do that.
Perfect example.
Because I wouldn't want you to do that. Let some female pick up your phone, please. And he told me,
you'll catch a case.
Oh, absolutely. So when I told him that, he looked and he goes, thank you for saying that. Because I'm like,
I wouldn't have bought that.
Yeah, if it's not
none of us would have bought that.
I know how nasty that would have made me feel, and I wouldn't want anyone to feel that way.
Absolutely.
I believe we need to go to a break. A quick break. Yeah, let's go ahead and go to a break. When we come back, please, guys, heart health, women, your heart health. Please be aware of that. Notice the sign, difference between men and women when it comes to heart attacks or strokes. Okay, two completely different signs.
Cancer month.
Yes, it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so last month was prostate cancer awareness, that we told you to take care of our men.
Right.
This month, we want you to take care of our women and our men, because breast cancer also happens in men. We had our friend of the show, Matthew Knowles, Beyonce Salon's dad.
Last year when that happened.
Because he has a current diagnosis. Yes. He's dealing with that right now and doing very well.
And apparently it happens quite a lot to Black men.
Yes, and his notice, the only sign that he had was a little pin drop?
A little pin-sized drop of blood on his white T-shirt, is what he said.
Right, and it's because doing laundry, it was noticed. Yeah, it was noticed. Didn't think anything of it, and then it's like, wait a minute, it's always the same stain in the same spot.
Right, And your nipples shouldn't be bleeding, male or female. So
no,
when that
not at all.
happens, something's going on. But,
right, absolutely. So thank you again, everyone who's been tuning in and following along on our feed. Please share your thoughts and comments. You know, how did you deal with being wronged? And
some of them may have just been the one to implement.
Yeah, I want to hear from you people.
Y'all not good.
I'm seriously interested to understand the other side of it. You know, so if that helps me be a better person, then I definitely want to know and get your side of it. So please share with us. And again, share us onto your pages and to your groups. Please continue to invite. We appreciate your support. And we'll be right back after this short break.
I am Marian Gaff, better known as OMG. I've just released a book for your information, your knowledge, and your pleasure, and for you to know that you have the opportunity to have that etiquette edge that no one else brings to the table. So with the new book that I've released, Image, this is a catalyst that will help catapult you beyond the average person who may have the same skill set that you do. You will win simply because you play to win. You get what you go for. And if you're going for the job, go get it. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're going to be the person that's in that particular field that has the charisma and the style and the class to move forward in their career, you've got to have etiquette training. You have to know gentleman's protocol. You can purchase Image at Amazon.com. It is on the go because you are on the go. It's to help you get the etiquette edge, which gets you what you want. We all like winning. Let's win. Wow. I think we've all been there. We've been at the right place at the wrong time.
Right. And we've had the wrong place, right time.
Absolutely.
You know, happen to us also. So welcome back, everyone. Thank you, everyone who's been tuning in and follow along. As you saw the messages, please, guys, don't forget to vote. It is next week is early voting for Harris County. Please check with your state and your local county on election information and everything. But guys, please vote, vote, vote. And tonight is actually the VP debate. Kamala and Mike will be debating tonight. And
she's gonna wax it. She's gonna wax him. I already know.
I hope so. So y'all, you know, not even just vote, but make an informed vote, an educated vote. So whomever your candidates may be, especially locally, please, those are very important. Those affect you directly.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to thank everyone who's been following along. We had our own Atum. It says, if you don't heal what hurt you, you will bleed on people who didn't cut you.
Very well said. I'm liking that Atum's.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm liking those.
Right.
You know that? Thank you.
He also asked, how do you eventually cut out those that are close to you but hurt you the most? Those hurts are the deepest.
That's betrayal. It becomes a betrayal at some point when it cuts really deep like that.
Absolutely.
I've had that.
Yes, and I think
we all have.
Absolutely, and I think that's why I am very much, when I am done, I'm done. I'm not going to look back, because that kind of hurt. Those wounds can be reopened.
I don't want to relive that.
I don't want to go back through that. Absolutely. And then there's some relationships, and I'm going to speak for myself. When it comes to family, that's very hard, and it just comes to a point. I just seriously had to have a heart-to-heart with myself. Like, what is going to work for me? What's better for me? Because it's, it'll stress you out. It hurts you so much that it affects your health.
Absolutely.
It affects your mental health, and there's other relationships with family that I had to just make peace and ask God to give me the strength for it, because I didn't want to look at what's going to work for me right now. What I also look at is, how is that going to affect my future? And so there's just some things with family that you just have to say, you know what, I need to make peace with that. It's never going to change. It's going to be that way, and continue to move. I'm not going to disrespect this person. I will continue to love them. I will continue to speak with them, have conversation with them, and then move on and just.
And then your moves have to become very calculated at that point. So you have to determine who you're going to spend time with and who you're not. I guess the older you get, the fewer people you need. And so you stop engaging in, the false representation of the representative that's letting you see one side, and in actuality, in everyday life, you get to see the real side.
Right.
People cannot hide who they are. Leopard does not change its spot. Right. So if that's who they are, then
absolutely. That's who they are. And, it's funny. We have, we have another listener, Scott Lake. Scott, thank you for tuning in. He says, Scott, try being married. Talk about compromise.
Especially during pandemic.
Oh, yes. So many people. And my heart goes out to those who didn't make it. I seriously do, especially, those long-term marriages. Yeah, kids involved. That's very sad, but at least you're able to have peace in your home.
Through divorce?
If it's not working out, and it turned out, wait a minute, this isn't working out.
It may not work out, but people are probably still living together, because nobody can afford to go out and.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all do that, but
you just live in a separate part of the damn house.
You do what you have to do. This is my schedule. This is your schedule.
He's upstairs, I'm downstairs.
Do your own dishes.
Right. You can cook while I'm not here. I mean, there will be rules, but.
Right, and it's funny because before I got here, I was watching. For my Hispanic friends out there, El Gordo y La Flaca, I'm sorry. The co-host on there, she just has a new podcast, a Red Table one, and she was showing an episode. She was talking about her divorce, and her daughter was there, and I wasn't paying attention long enough to know how long ago this divorce was or anything, but she did say it was years ago, and how it still hurts to be able to talk about those things. But she said what she wanted in order to move past that hurt, and what kept her there, because it was infidelity. And you go through therapy and things like that. And she goes, and you do that because that person who hurt you is not the person you had a relationship with.
That's somebody different? Is that what they're saying?
Yes. And she said that what her goal, what she wanted, was for her daughter to one day meet the man that she married, because the man that she divorced was not the same person. Man. And she said she deserved.
The streets can change you.
She said,
I'm sure
she deserves to know that man,
the real one.
Her daughter deserves to know that type of man, her real father.
You don't have a lot of good men out there, but there are some.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Somebody's got them.
Yes. And thank you, Mom, for tuning in.
Hey, Mom.
She says true friends understand when there is silence.
That's Absolutely. It. Remember I said in mine, I get silent. I don't go back and forth, and people want to engage. And if the friendship were valuable enough to me, it can't get that far out of hand.
Right.
Because there's a sign, there's a signal that lets you know there's an issue. So somebody needs to be big enough to say, well, listen, we need to talk.
Right.
Something's not right. You don't let it fester into something major.
Right. You give everyone time for their corners.
Go to your corner, I go to mine. Put my little mouth grid in, I come back, fight again. You know?
Absolutely.
It's just the same thing.
Absolutely.
But anyway, guys, now let me ask you something. You know, again, ethics is the standard of what is right and wrong. And so I read somewhere that ethics or what's right and wrong can pretty much be controlled by genetics as well as environment. Can you imagine? Because I thought it was more
learned.
More of a learned behavior, but again, you know, it's a morality issue, and it's also a subjective.
Hormonal, chemical. You know, what makes you feel good and what doesn't. Those are all chemical reactions. So
it could be.
Yeah, maybe, you know, when some of us have a few more than less than others, you know, where something's not triggering. I mean, think about. Well, that's how people have psychotic breaks when you think about it.
Because when you get into right and wrong, it's really a moral issue, moral turpitude, you know, more core, and it's also a psychological issue. Because
people would drive you nuts.
It's a psychological issue. Again, that'd be something to ask the psychologist. But you know, as you get more into this, you know, most people don't have a real code of conduct. So when something requires, and I think usually when you have to make a decision, whether it's right or wrong, it should be a very simple deduction. If something is positive, whatever, then you go for it. That's the right thing to do. If something is negative, hurts people, you know, not conducive for anybody involved, then in that case, you know to let it go.
Right.
You know, and so so you don't want to be wronged on that count. But some people really don't care. They bring thunder when they come, and it's not always.
Yeah,
good thunder.
See, and that's exactly why I feel like they definitely need to make legalize medical marijuana.
Yeah,
just period. I need them to legalize it. Period, because there's so many people, especially during this quarantine, who realize
this quarantine plays a big part.
Yes, that they need to calm down.
And I think even the quarantine has made people,
and anxiety is just gone
more rude to each other. You know, more cantankerous, and because this has psychologically, and you hear me say this every week, all of us, even the strongest of people, and I consider myself pretty strong,
right?
And it gets to me. I have to do little self exercises and self talking and all these things to keep myself
and
go run. Yeah, I gotta go run.
Do a quick breakdown and deep breath and
kill a couple bottles of alcohol and go to bed. And, but sometimes you really have to do that just to be able to cope with what's going on. And so unfortunately, not everybody can deal with that. And so, suicide has ensued, divorce, now parents are seeing what it's like to have their kids at home.
Domestic abuse.
It's a lot of stuff.
And the child abuse, those poor children, and if all it takes is a little bit of weed to keep a kid from getting beat because their parent needed to calm down and deal with their anger or their pain management, whatever it may be, then by all means, please legalize it.
So they're going to, when they figured out how they're going to
maximize their money. I mean, but as it is, it's ridiculous amounts for a dispensary license or to be certified.
Well, we did a show 5 years ago when they do have some, I don't know, they have not the dispensary. I think they have the grounds to grow it here. Remember they had license for maybe 3 places in Houston
for growers. Well, it's a center. There's only 3, and those are only available for compassionate care. You have to have that you have certificate license. Yes,
we did a show on stiletto stoners.
Stiletto stoners, absolutely. The females
that are big and heavy.
CEOs are really making it into the industry.
Big money, guys. You've got money to play with. It's good to engage. Now let me ask you something. Right and wrong, is that a conscious? Is it conscious? Do you have a conscience? I think conscience. I used to always hear Dr. Gadd say that a good pillow. No, a good conscience makes for a soft pillow. What that means is when you've lived right, you're good to
you can sleep
at night. He used to always say that a good conscience makes for a soft pillow.
Right.
And I don't know that young people know about conscience right now.
Not even just young people. I had a supervisor. This is how nasty of a person that she was. is, in my opinion. She fired a coworker. Now, this coworker had just come back from maternity leave, came back early, and had a conversation with the supervisor to asking her, can you please approve for me to come back early? She was having issues at home. She was going through a really hard time and was in the middle of a divorce. Yeah, you know, and then with the newborn. So she confided in her and let her know that. Would you know
she
that
used
this
that against her?
Absolutely. She used that, and she kicked her when she was down and kept poking at her. She enjoyed it. And the reason why I say she enjoyed it was the supervisor enjoyed it was because the way my office was situated and where my supervisor is at, I ended up having a perfect view. So not knowing that this had just happened, she had just terminated my coworker and was coming down the hallway and sat down at her desk in her office. And I saw this look of, she had a smirk and a look of satisfaction on her face. And I looked, she didn't see me. She didn't notice that I could see her. But when I saw that, I was like, that's an evil look. 3 minutes later is when my coworker hit me up and said, I was just fired, this and this and that. And I was like, you evil biatch.
Women are
how do you sleep at night?
Women are among the most vicious. I mean, men can play some games, okay, and maybe they play differently with other men.
Right.
But men games, we can pretty much handle a lot easier than we can when women come at you with all these different daggers from,
right.
You know, they're holding animosity. They've got some issue with you all along. And I find for me, and I don't know why this is, but sometimes women will have like a love-hate relationship with me. It's like, I like you so much because you're exciting, there's this and that, the other friend, but then I can't stand you because of whatever. Right. And see, I'm not that person. If either I have to be all or nothing. Either I'm down with you, I got your back, or I don't. I'm not going to play, you know, I like you this week because you agree with me and we're good. And, you know, but a lot of women will play that game with you.
The wishy-washy.
And they want whatever you have around you, so they will put up with you. I don't find it necessary to put up with anybody. At this stage in my life, I don't need it. But a lot of women do it. We play this little game back and forth.
Right. This year has definitely been one of reflection. A lot of sorrow for a lot of people, us. Right. You know, we've lost a lot of people. But it's been a real reflection because it prioritized what is important. And, you know, who I was in my 20s is definitely not who I am today.
Oh, absolutely.
Who I was 5 years ago is not the same person that I am today, you know? And I'm grateful that I had this time. And it was hurtful to see that a couple of long-term friendships, they weren't as deep as I thought they were. And that was hurtful.
A lot shallower than you thought.
And that was really hurtful because I was like, wow, years and years, like we grew up together, and
you thought you knew that.
Absolutely, and I didn't expect that. And it's like, man, here we are 40, and this is, I'm just now seeing
the real person. Yeah.
And I couldn't understand where it came from. It's like, why? But oh well, you know, that's just the way it is.
Women will have a love-hate relationship with you.
Yeah.
You know, just like you had another friend, if I recall, not mentioning your names, when you needed some assistance in moving. And you paid her in advance.
Made a business deal.
She made a business deal. She needed the money, you needed the help.
Yeah.
Now, let's just do this.
Yeah.
Did that, and then
she had her price.
Again, there's always a price.
And she made that decision. You know, it's like, okay, my patience, you already know I'm an impatient person, to put it nicely. Okay. And this friend, she knows me. You know, so she already knew, like, she's one, if I got nasty with her and I knew I was wrong, she would just brush it off, and she's like, I'm not going to let you have your moment.
I know you're not going to say I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to let you have your moment, and we're just going to keep doing whatever, you know. This is also the friend that I had a Mitch try to start the mess between us.
Yeah, we did a show
via text.
They don't know what a Mitch is.
Right.
It's those male.
Okay, so this was the girl who, when that was going on, she was like, yeah, right. This is Daydream that you're talking about. Because he was trying to, well, did you know she said this, whatever. And she was like, you don't get it. You honestly don't know her the way that the rest of us do. Because whatever you're saying now, if it was nasty that she said about me, she's already said it to my face. And I had. you know, and I'll even tell you, yeah, I was talking to so-and-so about how you thought, right. You know, and mention that. So I'm not going to hide it at all. So, and then for her to act that way with me, and it's like, really?
You know what I thought was wild? I saw a post somewhere. I don't know if it was
Mitches get stitches. Absolutely, too. Absolutely.
You know about Mitches, okay. You know what I thought was bizarre? Another right person wronged. They have a restaurant here. And these people were all friends.
Yes.
And I don't know if they worked in the same environment, but somebody was caught in the bathroom with somebody's husband. I mean, now listen to this. This sounds like reality TV. And this is stuff.
With somebody's husband.
Was this on Facebook or something?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Facebook. And to top it off, this wasn't the first time that this wife has caught him doing that in their establishment.
With that particular girl or just with other women?
Honestly, I don't remember if it was that same chick or
others. Still in business with it? I'd take all of
that. Man, I know my worth.
Absolutely.
I know my worth. And like I said, this is where a lot of self-reflection and a lot of conversations with God happen. But because then I have to look at, am I doing this rationally, business-wise, or am I letting my pride dictate what's going to happen and what's the better deal? You know, especially if you don't have a prenup and y'all started from the bottom together.
Absolutely, yeah.
Man,
I drove past there yesterday. I mean, it is like loaded, you know. And and I said, wow, this actually made social media.
Yeah. Like, and then it was done in such a nasty way.
It was vile the way it was done.
Yeah, it was done in a nasty way. And the person who provided the information was being real messy with it. And when
this is what I tell you about women. This is what I mean right here, you know?
Yeah, and I don't even remember if it was a girl who did it. I think it was a dude. See?
Oh, wow. Mitches.
Y'all are some gossips. You really are.
Y'all really talk more than we do, you know? But, you know.
Tim also says, he knows exactly what we're talking about. Okay, you posted it publicly, so I'm going to say it. More than stuffed turkey legs going on in there. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of stuffing going on.
A lot of stuffing going on in there, you know. Now, also, guys, the question before we have to go becomes whether or not does right or wrong truly exist? Or is it subjective to the person, and is it relative to how that person perceives their own standard of what's right and what's wrong?
Wow.
I thought I would get you on that one. Come on, girl.
Man, you should have hit us up with that one earlier.
I know, but you know, you got to give enough time.
Mine is definitely faith. Okay. You know, being together spiritually. You know, like Lauryn Hill said, how are you gonna win when you ain't right within? Okay, you know,
at first.
If you're not doing things right, if you don't have true intentions for people, you're never gonna get ahead. Okay.
You might wait a minute, because the devil gives rewards and
this is true.
So that's you might get ahead on that plane, but you know, ultimately that may not work.
Yeah, and for me, because we're going to talk about we're not really going to talk about it. If I can mention how someone approached you business wise, and there was a personal relationship. You know, y'all were girlfriends, and how she did you. And it was such a nasty way.
Stuff was so vile. I'm saying to myself, wow, you don't really know when somebody's in your presence. It doesn't necessarily mean, I'll sum it up by saying, because people are with you doesn't necessarily mean that they are for you. That clearly becomes, you know, imminent that you have to see that. But, you know, I tell you, women have something, I don't know what it is. And I'm not that person, because if I don't genuinely care for you as a friend, I'm not intimidated with other women. I'm not insecure around other women. You don't have anything that I don't have or anything I can't buy. So at this point, I'm not that girl. But when people take on that persona with me, and you watched it happen.
Yes, I was here live.
You know, and then also kind of came at you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, we were like, number one, where did this even come from? And two, why are you trying to attack me? Because I'm the wrong one.
We almost had a rumble in here.
Anywho, again, so that something like that was vile. Yes, absolutely. But that's a lot of my faith and me having to tell myself, and that's why I said this year has really helped out a lot because I've gotten stronger in my spirituality, in that I said, daydream. You're going to be there for your girl and you're going to be loyal for her. But in the long run, was that the better thing to do?
Sometimes you have
to. And I had to swallow it and say, I need to do what's going to be better in the long run and what's right.
And it's okay to forgive people, as you had on the screen. It's okay to forgive people and then move on.
Absolutely.
I don't have to invite you back because I forgave you. There it is there. I don't think people understand that you can forgive a person and not allow them back into your life. That is possible. Very possible.
Absolutely. I wish you well, my ex-friend.
Hey, bless you and prosper you on your way.
Absolutely.
All of that.
Absolutely. So thank you again, everyone who's been tuning in. Remember, just because the conversation ends, just because the show ends does not mean the conversation ends. So please continue to share and hit us up. Again, rotating chair is open. Let us know if you're interested in joining our show. And also if you have any topics. We will design a show for you. We'd love to hear from you. We talk about the things that you think about. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Sam Houston Race Park. Go to www.shrp.com for their simulcasting schedule. And as always, our show has been brought to you by Image. I make a great employee, entrepreneur, executive training seminars. Please don't forget to get your copy of Image at Amazon.com. You can get that in an ebook, and you can also get the hard copy.
And do not forget to watch the debate tonight. Absolutely. And continue to work towards getting to the polls, because we really need to do something about this.
Yes.
This gets scary every day. But at any rate, guys, I guess that's it, huh?
That's it. And just please, guys, take some time to end the hate and let's be kind.
And be one of those people that you are a right person and you do the right thing. It's very simple to live like that. It's harder to live the other way.
Yep. Do it for you.
Until next week, guys.